As November 9, 2025 arrives, the northern hemisphere tilts away from the sun, ushering in winter's approach. The days grow shorter, and a chill settles over the land, signaling the slow but steady transformation of the seasons. Across the UK and Europe, the first hints of frost glisten on rooftops and fields, while the air carries a crispness that whispers of the cold to come. This annual shift is more than just a change in temperature, it's a profound turning point in the natural world, affecting everything, from wildlife patterns to the rhythms of daily life. For centuries, people have watched the skies, wondering, will winter be mild or harsh? Ancient communities relied on the subtle signs in the clouds, the behavior of animals, and the wisdom passed down through generations to predict what lay ahead. The anticipation of winter's arrival has always been tinged with both hope and anxiety, as families prepared for the challenges and opportunities that the colder months would bring. Even today, the question remains, what kind of winter awaits us this year? Today, we use powerful tools like the ECMWF model, a supercomputer simulating global weather up to 42 days ahead. This technology represents the cutting edge of meteorological science, combining vast amounts of data from satellites, weather stations, and ocean buoys. Teams of scientists work around the clock, feeding new information into these models, refining their predictions, and searching for patterns that might reveal the secrets of the coming season. The result is a forecast that is more detailed and reliable than anything our ancestors could have imagined. This forecast offers a glimpse into the evolving weather story for the UK and Europe. Animated maps reveal swirling systems of high and low pressure, shifting winds, and the dance of clouds across the continent. Each update brings new possibilities, as meteorologists track the subtle changes that could tip the balance between a gentle winter and a season of biting cold. The story of winter is written in these patterns, unfolding day by day. Subtle shifts in atmospheric pressure can transform a mild autumn into a frigid early winter. A gentle breeze can become a biting wind overnight, and golden leaves give way to icy crystals that blanket the ground. These changes are not random, they are the result of complex interactions between the ocean, the land, and the atmosphere, all influenced by the tilt of the earth and the energy of the sun. Understanding these dynamics is key to predicting what lies ahead. The model hints at a pattern familiar to the UK, high pressure blocking milder Atlantic air, opening the door to cold from Siberia, the infamous beast from the east. When this happens, icy winds sweep across the continent, bringing snow and plunging temperatures. Memories of past winters remind us how quickly the weather can change, and how a single shift in the jet stream can alter the course of the season for millions of people. We'll analyze this forecast week by week, watching as high pressure builds and the Atlantic's influence wanes. Each week brings new developments. Will the cold intensify, or will milder air return? By breaking down the forecast into smaller intervals, we can better understand the risks and opportunities that lie ahead, helping communities prepare for whatever winter may bring. This isn't just about extra blankets, it's about understanding the complex physics shaping our daily lives. The interplay of temperature, pressure, and moisture determines not only our comfort, but also the safety of our roads, the health of our crops, and the resilience of our infrastructure. By decoding the language of the atmosphere, we gain insight into the forces that shape our world. The stage is set for a dramatic shift. Let's begin our journey into the heart of winter's forecast. As we explore the weeks ahead, we'll uncover the patterns, surprises, and challenges that define this season. Let us begin. The first week of November, spanning from the 10th to the 17th, ushers in a weather pattern that feels all too familiar for this time of year: mild temperatures and persistent wet conditions. Across the UK, the days begin with a damp chill in the air, and the sound of rain tapping against windows becomes a near-constant companion. Streets glisten under the glow of streetlights, and the countryside is painted in deep greens and browns, saturated by frequent showers. This unsettled spell is driven by robust southwesterly winds sweeping in from the Atlantic, carrying with them moisture-laden clouds and bursts of rain. The Atlantic's influence is unmistakable, as waves crash along the coastline and gusty winds whip through towns and cities. Day after day, temperatures remain above the seasonal average, making the air feel unseasonably mild for November. However, this warmth comes at a price: frequent rain showers and a stubborn blanket of cloud that rarely lifts, keeping the skies a dull gray and the sun hidden from view. Yet, while the Atlantic dominates the UK's weather, a subtle but significant change is brewing to the north. High pressure is steadily building over Greenland and Iceland, quietly shifting the balance of power in the atmosphere. This development is more than just a blip on the weather map, it's a sign that the current pattern won't last forever. As this northern block strengthens, it begins to slow the usual west-to-east flow of weather systems. The result? Scandinavia and Iceland start to cool down, with cold air masses pushing further south and east, hinting at a broader shift in the region's weather. The UK now finds itself caught in a meteorological tug-of-war, mild moist air from the Atlantic on one side, and encroaching cold from the north on the other. This battleground zone brings unpredictable conditions, with sharp contrasts in temperature and weather from one region to the next. Most of the UK continues to see wetter-than-average conditions, especially in the south and west, where rain remains frequent. However, as the northern bloc asserts itself, Scotland and Northern Ireland begin to experience a noticeable drying trend, with rain easing and skies starting to clear. These subtle but important shifts in the weather patterns signal that the Atlantic's grip is beginning to loosen. The relentless flow of wet, mild air is weakening, and hints of change are appearing on the horizon. The high pressure over Greenland is not just a fleeting feature, it's the opening move in a much larger atmospheric chess game. Its persistence will have far-reaching effects, setting the stage for a dramatic transformation in the weeks ahead. Soon, the UK's mild and wet pattern will be replaced by something much colder and potentially more disruptive. Frosty mornings and sharper winds are on the way, as the balance tips in favor of northern air. The stage is set for a dramatic shift in the weather, with the atmosphere poised for a significant transition. The coming days will bring new challenges and a very different feel to the season. As November unfolds, the atmosphere is preparing for a new chapter, one that promises colder, drier, and perhaps more wintry conditions across the UK. November 17th to 24th marks a pivotal turning point in the seasonal story. As autumn's grip loosens, the weather begins to shift in a way that's both dramatic and unmistakable. This is the week when the first true signs of winter make themselves known, and the atmosphere starts to feel different. Crisper, sharper, and more invigorating. A powerful high-pressure block intensifies over Greenland and Iceland, acting like a massive atmospheric wall. This system doesn't just sit quietly. It actively shapes the weather patterns across the North Atlantic, forming a mid-Atlantic barrier that halts the usual west-to-east flow of milder air. The jet stream, which typically brings milder, wetter air from the Atlantic, is now forced to dive southward. This dramatic shift blocks the influx of gentle Atlantic breezes, and instead, the wind direction flips, ushering in a cold, persistent northeasterly flow. With this new wind pattern, frigid air masses surge directly from Scandinavia and the Arctic, sweeping across the UK and much of Europe. The result is a sudden and noticeable drop in temperatures, with thermometers plunging and the air taking on a biting chill. Days become noticeably crisper, with each morning revealing a landscape dusted in frost. Nights grow longer and colder, and the unmistakable feeling of winter's arrival settles in, transforming the countryside into a scene of shimmering white. In the west, the familiar parade of Atlantic rain clouds fades away. Instead, high pressure brings clearer skies and drier, more settled weather, offering a brief respite from the dampness that often characterizes autumn. Meanwhile, the east faces a different story. Cold winds sweeping over the North Sea pick up moisture, delivering wintry showers to exposed areas. Sleet and snow become increasingly common, especially on higher ground, painting the landscape in shades of white and gray. Across the country, the transition from autumn's lingering dampness to winter's sharp bite is unmistakable. Fallen leaves, once wet and golden, now crunch underfoot, frozen by the overnight chill. People respond to the growing cold by bundling up in heavier coats, scarves, and hats. The cold is no longer a subtle hint in the air, it's a clear, growing presence that shapes daily routines and moods. The first snowfalls arrive, blanketing parts of the UK in white and signaling that the true arrival of winter is here. The landscape is transformed, and the season's character is set. The atmosphere has reconfigured itself, ushering in a new phase. The shift is complete. Winter's reign has begun, and the coming weeks promise more cold, more frost, and the unmistakable beauty of the season. November 24th to December 1st, the cold pattern cements its hold. High pressure over Greenland and the mid-Atlantic blocks the Atlantic's mild air. Low pressure over Scandinavia channels persistent, cold northeasterly winds into the UK. Despite a brief model hint at milder air, meteorologists expect the cold to persist, with temperatures at or below average. The west stays dry and settled, while the east and central UK see wintry showers, sleet and snow, especially on hills. The cold is now entrenched, no longer a fleeting snap but a stubborn pattern. As long as the high remains, the Atlantic's influence is locked out. Europe is refrigerated by relentless northeasterlies. The foundation for a frigid December is set. The question now, can the Atlantic fight back? December 1st to 8th, the atmosphere becomes a battleground. The blocking high over Greenland and Iceland holds firm, but the Atlantic tries to push back. The UK is caught between cold, dry continental air and milder, moist Atlantic air. Wind directions flicker, making conditions unpredictable. Where these air masses meet, active weather erupts, potential for significant snow if Atlantic systems reach the cold. The forecast turns more unsettled, with increased moisture clashing with lingering cold. This is the perfect setup for wintry precipitation, rain, sleet, or snow, depending on which air mass wins. The outcome is uncertain, but volatility is guaranteed. This is a critical volatile transition. The stage is set for dramatic weather events. The battle for December is underway. December 8th to 15th, the Atlantic's push fails. A massive high-pressure block forms from Greenland to Scandinavia, forcing winds from the east. Air travels from Siberia, bringing the classic beast from the east, severe, prolonged cold and snow. Temperatures plunge well below average. The cold is biting, day and night. The Atlantic jet stream is shoved south, leaving the UK and much of Europe dry but frigid. Eastern coasts may see significant sea-effect snow showers. This week holds the highest potential for a memorable winter spell. The beast from the east is poised to strike. Shoe and ducks or gesture my course. December 15th to 22nd, the cold pattern holds or even intensifies. The high-pressure fortress over Greenland, Iceland, and Scandinavia keeps the Atlantic shut out. The UK remains locked in a bitter easterly wind with no sign of warming. Most of Europe stays dry under high pressure, but the south may see more unsettled weather. The cold is relentless with risks of frozen rivers, travel disruption, and energy strain. Snow showers persist, especially in the east, right up to Christmas. The story is one of persistent, biting cold. December's final days look set to be unforgettable. As December 22nd approaches, the big question: will the cold last through Christmas? The model shows a stubborn, blocked pattern, with high pressure over Scandinavia and frigid easterlies. A white Christmas looks possible for the UK and Northern Europe, but long-range forecasts are never certain. The Atlantic could break through, bringing a rapid thaw. The cold spell's impact is significant, beautiful winter scenes, but also energy strain and travel disruption. The forecast is a strong signal, not a guarantee. The evidence points to a December remembered for its cold, not its mildness. The outcome remains uncertain, but preparation is wise. The cold's grip may define this festive season. Our journey through the ECMWF forecast reveals a clear narrative. A powerful northern high dismantles the usual Atlantic-driven weather, setting the stage for a deep freeze. The potential for a beast from the east in December is the key takeaway. Siberian air could plunge the UK and Europe into a prolonged freeze. The forecast is a call to action. Check insulation, service heating, prepare for icy roads, and anticipate energy demand. For authorities, it's time to ready salt stocks and gritters. The signs are clear. The whispers of winter are becoming a roar. Preparation is essential for what could be a memorable frigid December. Listen to the forecast. The cold is likely on its way.